My dad went quiet when the Lien release came out beside my niece's graduation cupcakes. My father has been telling the same story about me for 6 years, and at my niece's graduation cookout, he finally told it in front of enough people that I was done letting him use it. According to Dad, when I was 24, he loaned me money to keep my truck from being repossessed after a bad stretch of contract work, and I never fully paid him back. In family retellings that became proof I am reckless, slippery with money, and always one favor away from another mess. I did pay him back. I paid him back 4 years ago with a cashier's check because he said he did not want transfer notes in his account. He signed the lien release on the truck title in the credit union parking lot. I kept the copy because Dad forgets facts that limit his authority. My niece Harper graduated high school on Saturday. My sister Melissa hosted a cookout in her yard under 2 rented canopies. There were burgers, cupcakes, and a folding table where people dropped cash into a jar for Harper's dorm fund. Dad planted himself next to that table like he had been elected. I was filling ice buckets when Melissa asked if I could watch the jar while she ran inside. Before I could answer, Dad said, "Let's keep the money with somebody current on his obligations." A couple cousins laughed because they thought it was a joke. It wasn't. He kept going. He said Harper had worked too hard for graduation money to be floating around near people who still owed family principal. My Aunt Janine went quiet. Melissa told him not to start. Dad shrugged like he was just protecting a teenager from a known risk. Then he looked at Harper and said, "Love your uncle. Just don't copy his habits." That changed the temperature fast. Harper looked embarrassed for me. Melissa looked embarrassed too, which in our family means she knew a line got crossed and was calculating the price of pushing back. I asked Dad if he wanted to say the amount I supposedly still owed. He said if I had kept better records, there would not be confusion. Then he added that some debts are more about character than numbers, which is what people say when the numbers would ruin them. So I went to my truck. In the glove box, I keep registration papers, insurance cards, and an old manila envelope. I brought it back to the yard and set it on the card table beside Harper's cupcakes. Inside was the cashier's check receipt from 2022, the stamped loan memo Dad wrote himself, and the signed lien release for the title. Same amount, same date, same signature. I handed the lien release to Melissa first because Dad always counts on people reacting to his voice before they look at paper. Melissa read it twice. Then Janine took the receipt and said, "This says paid in full." Dad started talking immediately. He said that only covered the truck note, not all the stress, not the extra help, not the way I embarrassed him that year. I asked whether any of those things were why he had spent 6 years telling relatives I still owed actual money. Nobody rescued him, Harper asked, quietly but clearly. "So why did you say that in front of everybody if he paid you?" Dad said he was making a point about responsibility. Melissa said no, he was making me wear an old story because he liked how it positioned me under him. Janine moved the donation jar away from his elbow and handed it to Harper. That was the real shift. Dad lost the role he had built for himself in the yard. He was no longer the judge of who could be trusted around family money. He was the man who had used a settled debt as public leverage at his granddaughter's graduation party. The cookout kept going because families will eat through almost anything. Burgers came off the grill. Harper opened cards. But nobody asked Dad to hold the dorm fund after that. Melissa asked me to count it up with her instead. Dad stayed under the canopy drinking warm soda and acting like the paperwork was rude. Maybe it was. It was also true. And truth finally cost him something.